Irving told me about how you became a Grey Warden, and that unpleasant incident that occurred prior to your departure from the Circle. None other. I respect the decision you made, and the way you handled it. And it did not seem to affect Duncan's desire to recruit you. But that aside, you're a Grey Warden now, and perhaps I presume too much by saying this, but the Circle is proud of you. Do not squander this time trying to explain why Irving picked you. Accept it, and be the Grey Warden you're supposed to be. Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to. That it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be.
You called. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Our farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are. There is interesting food here. You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Kunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly. I don't know what that means. None of my teeth are sweet. Those little baked things, however, we have none of those in my homeland. This should be remedied. Shall we move on? Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own. To see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharon. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs. True. I was trying to forget that part. Shall we move on? As you wish.
Here I am. Oh, this should be good. Go ahead. I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book. How should I know? My mother was a whore, as you'll recall. None of the other elven boys in the whorehouse knew their fathers. I was not so unusual. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear. It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all. My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again. Oh, there has been plenty. To tell the truth, it is because I expected nothing more. Still, even I eventually thought that it would be better for me if I ran off to join the famous Dalish when one of their clans drew near Antiva city. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on.
Have I ever told you I really like the way you wear your hair? It's very nice, and it suits you. Simple. Not like the elaborate hairstyles we wore in Orlais. They involved flowers, ribbons, jewels. 1 year, feathers were all the rage, and Lady Elise decided she needed to outdo everyone else, and actually wore live songbirds in her voluminous hair. The chirping was quite charming for a while, but you must realize, terrified little birdies often have loose bowels. Yes, I don't envy them. She never washed her hair. But I was trying to say something nice to you, wasn't I? Oh, forgive me. My mind wanders so. It's just that I feel so comfortable talking to you, like I could say anything and you wouldn't judge me. You see? This is what I mean. You're such a pleasure to talk to. I haven't felt this close to anyone in a long time. I really enjoy your company. And what would you do if I said I do? Very much so, in fact. There's no one else I'd rather spend time with. Come then, let's get going. If I recall correctly, you have some important earth-shattering business to attend to.
Something on your mind? Not unless they were asking me for a favor. Well, there was that one time in Denerim, but those women were not like you. Why? Is this your way of telling me you think I'm handsome? Oh, I get it. I'll get it out of you yet. So, is this the part where I get to say the same? Oh, well, I'll think about it then. Sometime soon, I'm sure.
Indeed.
Yes. Yes.
Another battle, sir. And so I shall. Lovely. Of course. Shall we go and ask it to nicely die? I'm sensing more dark spawn. So I shall. As you desire, and so I shall.
Got to hand it to the Darkspawn. They sure know how to make a place feel desolate. Lonely.
see them. Dark spawn.
Of course. Hello, all light. Lovely.
Is that for me? I don't know whether to laugh or cry. But it's clearly King's. There can be no doubt.
Time for more darkspawn, I see.
I'm trying to be blessed.
I could do that for you.
Cannot be.
Let's go.
Sorry. Can't do that.
Sadly not. Oh no.
Looks like they might be right.
Of course.
Complete.
Judging by these documents, it's a pity we hadn't placed more trust in Orlais and less in the king's own father-in-law.
Blades like that inspire songs that last the ages. platform straight ahead. What now?
The enemy approaches.
Of course. Well, all right. Lovely. And so I shall. Well, all right. Lovely.
just
to
crop
move
up
on.
everywhere, don't they?
So I shall. So I shall.
Forgive us, my king. Once we flushed the darkspawn from their holes and bought ourselves some time, we'll be back to see you to the maker. Wait! We should search the bodies. I saw something back there that might have been Kalen's.
Slay these monsters. We need to fight the entire blight ourselves. So I
It is enough. I know. Go back and search the bodies.
thought I saw it.
It is enough.
I'm here for you.
Down the road.
I don't even want to imagine where that leads.
Another creature ahead.
What's next?
They left him here to rot. We need to do something. He was a good man who hoped too much and died too young. He deserves what little honor we can afford to grant him.
Cannot be. It appears we will need to fight the entire Blight ourselves.
Trap right ahead. Trap right ahead. Right ahead.
It's done.
What can I do for you, Warden?
Don't look now, but... Well, look now!
Another vanquished.
As you desire. Another creature ahead. Of course.
Draw your weapon.
Are you talking to me?
Your weapon. Draw it.
Why? Are we under attack?
I want to see what you can do.
You want to fight me? Just like that?
You are a Grey Warden. How are you going to face an archdemon if you cannot face me?
It is a mystery, I'll admit.
I should let your weakness damn us all? Draw your sword. I'll try not to injure you permanently.
I don't have to prove anything to you, forget it.
So you do have a spine. Pity you don't use it.
We are working hard to make enough equipment for all of the hunters. Our armaments will be superior to anything else you find on the battlefield. I am no merchant, but I have plenty...
Take this. You've earned it.
Hey,
Good to see you again.
exactly. You, I, everything, all the dreams.
Thank the Maker my brother and his family made it out of Lothering. He said that the Darkspawn attacked it the very next day.
The Darkspawn took Lothering, did they?
I don't know. I expect so.
You were in the Chantry.
What can I do for you? This ought to be interesting. Such diction. This man is a true scholar and rhetorician. I am honored to be fired by one such as he. Good day.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant. Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers are Orzamar's lifeline, even if we're denied a caste. The Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone, but they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites.
That's not right. Someone should do something.
Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown. twice a year. I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it. Best of luck to you.
The assembly is deadlocked. No one knows where.
I hear there's been more fighting. Looks like the fighting has finally started.
I go where the work is, and it isn't here.
Step right, Maker's breath. Oh, beg your pardon, friend. You, startled me a bit. Can what? I'm sorry, I don't know what that...
Where is my sword?
I don't know what you mean, sir. I don't have it, I swear by Andraste's knickers. I sold it on the way here. A dwarf near Redcliffe. Dwyn, I think his name was. I don't rightly know. He said he was a collector. It's none of my business what a person wants with my merchandise once it's changed hands.
We'll see.
Of course he did. Terran Loghain is out there leading the troops.
I've told you what I can, I swear to you. Oh, certainly.
Is it true Grey Wardens killed Ferelden's king?
How are we supposed to live like this? I have buyers waiting.
I've never seen an elf do.
Most traders aren't allowed into Orzammar, so they just sort of gather near the doors. There's no laws out here at all, I'm told.
I am impressed. My thanks.
I have been studying Mother's grimoire. Do you wish to hear what I have found? 'Tis not what I expected. I had hoped for a collection of her spells, a map of the power that she commands, but this is not it. No, there is much of interest within her writings, things I did not know, and one in particular I would never have suspected. Here, in great detail, Flemeth explains the means by which she has survived for centuries. That is closer to the truth than you might think. Flemeth has raised many daughters over her long lifetime. There are stories of these many witches of the wilds throughout chastened legend, yet I have never seen a one, and always wondered why not. And now I know. They are all Flemeth. When her body becomes old and wizened, she raises a daughter, and when the time is right, she takes her daughter's body for her own. I do not know. Perhaps 'tis as she said, the Darkspawn threaten her as much as they threaten anyone else, or perhaps she believes that this journey will make me more powerful. According to the tome, if the host is already powerful and trained in magic, it takes far less time for Flemeth to settle in. Not by any natural means. Perhaps I should take this as a vote of confidence from her on my capabilities? Or perhaps she simply wished me gone from the Korcari wilds so she could prepare her ritual in peace. A disturbing thought. Indeed, that is primarily what this tome details. The various daughters that Flemeth has acquired, their preparation and training. I recognize all of it. I am to be her next host. This is my purpose. There is only one possible response to this. Flemeth needs to die. I will not sit about like an empty sack waiting to be filled. Flemeth must be slain, and I need your help to do it. Then what needs to be done is for you to go back to Flemeth's hut in the Korcari wilds without me. If I am present when she is slain, I cannot be certain that she will not be able to possess my body right then, so I must remain at the camp. Confront her and slay her quickly. I doubt she will truly be dead even then, but it will take her years to find a new host and recover her power, if that is even possible. The thing I must have is her true grimoire. With it, I can defend against her power in the future. Everything else in her hut is yours. Not really, but the sooner the better, no? I am grateful. The sooner this can be done, the sooner it will set my mind at ease.
I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you? There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men. As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men. And you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they. A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it, and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant. If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome.
Here I am. Oh, this should be good. Go ahead. Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it? Now that you mention it, I am not entirely certain. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The Crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die. Of course, you compete against your fellow assassins, and those who survive are rightfully proud of it. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth, gets you women, and men, or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining. I fancy many things. I fancy things that are beautiful, and things that are strong. I fancy things that are dangerous and exciting. Would you be offended if I said I fancied you? This is good to know. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go. And here I am, happy to be had. Isn't it wonderful how things work out that way? Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Yes.
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 Even more darkspawn.
I see we've stopped to smell the flowers and adore the sunshine.
I fell. For a moment there, I thought it was all over. I will explain everything when we are back at camp. Now is not the time.
And so you return. Lovely Morrigan has at last found someone willing to dance to her tune. Such enchanting music she plays, wouldn't you say? Why dance at all? Why not sing? What has Morrigan told you? What little plan has she hatched this time? That she does. The question is, do you? Ah, but it is an old, old story. One that Flemeth has heard before, and even told. Let us skip right to the ending, shall we? Do you slay the old wretch as Morrigan bids, or does the tale take a different turn? Choice. There is power in choices, as there is in lies. I shall give you one of each. Morrigan wishes my grimoire? Take it as a trophy. Tell her I am slain. I go. Perhaps I surprise Morrigan one day. Or I may simply watch. It would be interesting to see what she does with her freedom. Enlightening, even. Would you give an old woman that? You get to keep her for a time. We believe what we want to believe. It's all we ever do. Shame. What will it be then? It is a dance poor Flemeth knows well. Let us see if she remembers the steps. Come, she will earn what she takes. I'd have it no other way.
And so I shall. Lovely.
called?
Yes. Yes. Right.
Sadly not. I have done all of over now.
I think I owe you an explanation for what happened earlier. You should know that something happened to me at the tower before you came along. You spoke to Petra, did you not? She told you I saved her from a demon. I did, but I did not survive that encounter. Let me explain fully. I engaged a very powerful demon to rescue Petra. It sapped me of all my energy and will and left me drained. It took everything I had to defeat it. And when I was done, I no longer had the strength to keep my heart beating. I remember my life ebbing away. Everything receded from me. Sound, light. I remember being enveloped in complete, impenetrable darkness. And then I sensed a presence enfolding me and cradling me, whispering quietly to me. The sensation is impossible to describe. I was being held back, firmly but gently, as a mother would a child eager to slip from her grasp. I felt life and warmth flowing through my veins again. I began to be aware of small sounds and the discomfort of my hip pressing into the cold stone of the tower floor. The Fade contains spirits both benevolent and malicious. The benevolent spirits seldom make themselves known, because they want nothing from mortals, unlike the demons. It was one of these spirits that saved me. Without it, I would be dead. And it has not left me. It is with me, even now, bonded to me. You see, I am supposed to be dead. It is the spirit that is keeping me in this world. And this is not the way of things. Perhaps the spirit did not expect this, but it is weakening gradually. I am living on borrowed time. Yes, that we will.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. I'm sure.
await your command. Mother's real grimoire, is it? I am glad you were able to find it after all. My thanks for retrieving it. I shall begin studying it immediately and unlock the power that it holds.
How nice.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Will you stop eating?
An enemy lies ahead.
As you desire. So I shall.
I shall. It's done. As you like. On my way. I'll do it. Right away. As you like. Watch out! On my way. It's done. I shall. I'll do it. On my way. Yes. Okay. Right away. I finished. Trap right ahead. Just like you wanted. What now? On my way.
All men are the work of our Maker's hand. From the lowest slave to the highest king, those who bring power without
Dwarven craft. I recognize you. From Ostagar. And trust his blood. You're a Grey Warden. Duncan's apprentice. You killed my friend. And good King Caelan. I demand satisfaction, sir. So you would compound slander on top of treason? You dare smear Terran Loghain's word? An uncommon traitor deserves no common death. We will meet on the field of honor, and my blade shall see justice done. Meet me in the back alley behind the Nod Noble Tavern. There we will duel. Make peace with the Maker, sir. These are your last moments.
Hey, the wonders of things.
Are you ready? I am no savage. I would not take advantage of you. May the Divine look after you, sir. You've held yourself with honor. Begin.
As you desire. So I shall. So I shall. Of course. As you desire. So I shall. Of course. Of course. So I shall. As you desire.
Sir Landry would speak with you. Sir Landry would speak with you, knave. Sir Landry would speak with you, knave. Sir Landry would speak with you. Sir Landry would speak with you. You fought with honor. Sir Landry couldn't have asked for a note.
Yes, make it quick. Strange. Let's see this. I knew it! I gave that man the best 7 weeks of my life. Well, I guess he won't have me to push around anymore. Ha!
Where do you think they get all this stuff? You think they, have any miniature golem dolls?
Welcome to the wonders of Thedas. We carry items crafted by the Circle, as well as a variety of antiquities. Is there anything you would like to see?
Look at what that woman's wearing. Is she drunk, or does she just have bad taste? I'm here for you.
All the news is troubling these days. When will the war end?
What can I get you, stranger?
What's next?
So I'm wondering something. A man like Zebra.
Oh, he's handsome enough for some. Why'd you ask?
No reason. It's just... Doesn't he seem to be a bit too much? The hair, the clothing...
I don't understand. A bit too much what? Do you have a problem with him?
Beyond the fact that he's an assassin who's tried to kill us more than once? No, not really. Do women go for that sort of thing?
Where I come from, they do. Oh, yes.
Huh. Really? I see.
As I live and breathe, you're the Grey Warden everyone's been talking about. I represent the Blackstone Irregulars. I'm sure you know that times are getting worse every day. With your help, the Irregulars could be of use to Ferelden once more. Our leaders thought you might be willing to help. Each of our posts in Ferelden will contain letters addressed to you. Unlike most who work with us, you're getting letters straight from Raelnor and Tauran, our leaders. I hope this tells you how highly the Irregulars regard the Grey Wardens. Thank you. When you've completed a mission, just return to me or any of our members stationed at an Irregulars post. We'll make sure your efforts are rewarded. Maker's blessings light your path.
Here, look at this. Do you know what this is? I picked it in Lothering. I remember thinking, how could something so beautiful exist in a place with so much despair and ugliness? I probably should have left it alone, but I couldn't. The Darkspawn would come and their taint would just destroy it. So I've had it ever since. I thought that I might give it to you, actually. In a lot of ways, I think the same thing when I look at you. I'm glad you like it. I was just thinking, here I am doing all this complaining, and you haven't exactly been having a good time of it yourself. You've had none of the good experience of being a Grey Warden since your joining. Not a word of thanks or congratulations. It's all been death and fighting and tragedy. I thought maybe I could say something. Tell you what a rare and wonderful thing you are to find amidst all this darkness. Haha, you won't land me that easily, woman. I know I'm quite the prize, after all. No need to start crying on me or anything. I guess it was, just a stupid impulse. I don't know. Was it the wrong one? I'm glad you like it. Now, if we could move right on past this awkward, embarrassing stage and get right to the steamy bits, I'd appreciate it. Oh? You're lost then. All the ladies go on and on about how suave I am. I don't know how you can resist me like you do. Oh look, is that a cloud? I expect rain.
Next, drink to battle! and victory!
I'm a Crimson Ore! Which way you looking, or we'll rip your damned eyes out and piss in you!
Indeed.
Thanks. I ain't sticking around to see how this goes.
Allow me. I could do that for you. I finished.
I didn't say that. Was that part of your chat?
No, it was a ballad about a highwayman and the tavern girl who loved him. Could you not tell?
All your language sounds the same to me. I thought you were singing of vegetables, actually.
Allow me. I could do that for you. It's done.
All the news is troubling these days. When will the war end?
Yes? What are you doing here? My name is Wayland. I'm the assistant of the scholar Brother Genitivi. This is his house. He's an eminent scholar and researcher who serves the Great Chantry. When you first came in, I was hoping that you had news of Brother Genitivi. Wishful thinking, it seems. I haven't seen Brother Genitivi in weeks. He sent no word. It's so unlike him. Genitivi was on the trail of the Urn of Sacred Ashes. I fear he has gotten too close to the truth. Perhaps the urn has been lost for a reason. I pray for Genitivi's safety, but hope dwindles with each passing day. I tried to send help, but some knights came from Redcliffe looking for him not long ago. I sent them after Genitivi, and they too have disappeared. Now don't ask me where they went. You'll go after them. And what if ill luck should befall you too? This search is a curse on all of us. Some things are not meant to be found. I know that now. So be it. All he said before he left was that he would be staying at an inn near Lake Calenhard, investigating something in that area. If you were wise, You would turn away and never look back. Please, I beg you. I do not think this will end well. All actions have consequences. Perhaps Genitivi brought this on himself. Genitivi could not see how the search had consumed him. It was all he thought about. I hated seeing him like that. I'm not surprised it led to this. It is just the fear speaking. You're wasting time. If you insist on going after Brother Genitivi, you should leave as soon as possible. I mean, well, you seemed so earnest. If anyone is to find him, they should do it sooner rather than later. Of course. Why are you questioning me? Yes, of course. Thank you for your concern. It's been a very difficult time for me, and sometimes I don't know what to think or feel. I want Genitivi to be rescued, but I don't want more people to be hurt. You understand, don't you? Follow in Genitivi's footsteps if you must, but be careful. What are you doing? You're not supposed to go in there. I'm sorry, but that room is not for guests. It's full of books and papers, and I'd rather they were not disturbed. I said no. Genitivi was a very private person. No, don't touch that door! What did they say?
Heard about all those mages in Lake Callanheart? They up and turned into a pack of demons.
No. The Templars killed them.
You here to report another crime? I swear we should just cordon off the entire district. Oh, can I help you, Warden? What? You're serious? I mean, yes, I could use help. I've got a pretty popular, establishment that's crawling with mercenaries. If I send my boys in, someone might get, Maker forbid, hurt, and I'll have to explain to their noble fathers that being a guard is actually dangerous. Do a good job and I'll see you get some silver in your pockets, maybe even some gold. The name of the whorehouse is the Pearl. Beat down any mercenaries that are out of line and send them a message. I said beat down, not kill. Let me make that really clear. Not on fire, or exploded, or make a nose, whatever type of grisly death you can dream up. Sorry. Used to giving orders to my boys. Just leave them breathing and I'll be happy. Thank you, Warden. Happy hunting.
He came at me! He came at me! Yeah. They got to learn not to mess with me.
As there is but one world, one life, one... All men are the work of our Maker's hand, from the lowest...
You know, you never did tell me how...
Yes? All right, let me take a look. No, I can't believe this, I won't!
Dwarven crafts. Fine Welcome, welcome. We sell only the strongest dwarven steel, folded over 100 times in the forges of Orzammar. In times like this, surely your group could use some extra protection on the road. I'll answer what I can, but my policy is not to sell things that don't belong to me. It's the capital of Ferelden, so naturally the Queen and Regent are at the top. But the man who seems to be running the city guard is the new Arl Rendon Howe. Came in from somewhere up north. The Landsmeet's the big news. Every dusty noble estate in Denerim is airing its sheets, waiting for the Lord to ride into town. Every piece comes... Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar. Won't find better.
Just like you wanted.
All men are the work of our Maker's hand. From the lowest slaves to the highest kings. Those who bring down without provocation are better and better.
I enjoy the nights at camp. The night always seems more peaceful to me, safer. I feel the night grants us a reprieve from the troubles of the day. Silly, isn't it? The Darkspawn never sleep, and they lurk in the shadows. I enjoy those nights when we stand guard together, talking to pass the time in those small hours. Well, I talk and you listen mostly. Sometimes I succumb and fall asleep and wake to find you still watchful. And I know you're watching out for me. What I'm trying to say is that I trust you. I'm comfortable around you. I know you'll be there when I need you. You are our leader and my friend, and sometimes I think that maybe we could be more than that. Maker, look at me stumbling over my words like an ill-educated peasant girl. Some bard I am. I'm not embarrassed. I'm just flushed because of the heat. Really? No one told me. You felt the same way and didn't do me the courtesy of informing me? You made me say all those things. Why couldn't you have said them first? Oh, Oh, how very awkward. Why am I being such a baby about this? I must be a sight spilling my guts. Yes, I am fond of you and I care about you. And let's go about our business before the others suspect something. Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
It is a curious thing. I do not know how else to describe it. Indeed I am, a little. I am reminded of our first meeting in the wilds. I had been in animal form for some time, watching your progress. I was intrigued to see such a formidable woman, obviously more potent than the men she traveled with. Yet I resented it when Flemeth assigned me to travel with you. I assumed that, at best, you would drive me from your company as soon as we left the wilds. I am aware that I have little talent for forming friendships, to put it lightly. 'Tis something I know nothing of, nor ever thought I needed. Yet when I discovered Flemeth's plans, you did not abandon me. Whatever your reasons, you fought what must have been a terrible battle without hope of real reward. And that is what I do not understand. Of all the things I could have imagined would have resulted when Flemeth told me to go with you, the very last would have been that I would find in you a friend, perhaps even a sister. I want you to know that while I may not always prove worthy of your friendship, I will always value it. But enough of such idle talk. There are more useful things to be done, surely.
You're quite taken with each other, aren't you? I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. Leliana is a remarkable girl, sincere and guileless, and she has opened her heart to you. I would not like to see her hurt. I am worried about you both. There is great potential for tragedy here. Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do? Nothing is certain. Not in these times. You cannot take anything for granted. I want you to be aware of this. I am just trying to minimize the suffering that may come to either of you. I have given my advice. Do with it what you will. What's on your mind? I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the Fade. As a child, I never feared my dreams because I knew they were there. I've always been able to feel the spirits, even if I never saw them. And as I nurtured my talent in the circle, I became more sensitive. I began to notice every time I was in the Fade, whether it was in a dream or in magical practice, that I was being watched. I suppose they must. It is these benevolent spirits that create our dream worlds in the Fade. Sometimes I would see it, a glowing, nebulous form. Most times I would just feel its presence, gentle and comforting, but somehow alien. I think it is a spirit of faith. They have never been seen before, and perhaps I am wrong. But something tells me I'm not. It always felt like the same entity. This one spirit was curious about me, and was guarding me, for want of a better word. There were times when I was in the Fade that it seemed to stretch forth to shield me, keeping me safe. And I think it gave me strength in my most terrible battles, Ostagar being one of them. I don't know why I was chosen. Perhaps it knew that there was something more that lay in store for me. I like to think that I was given a rare chance, and I'm going to make the best of the time so generously given to me. I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. That is not the death for me. And so I will fight alongside the Grey Warden, and help prepare her for the task that is yet before her. So you had better listen to me, because I swear, if I should fall before the end and you don't seem to be doing things properly, I'll get up again to give you a good finger-wagging. You know, I think you'll be all right, even without my help.
Different? Different than what? Different than a statue? Different than a log? Should I talk in a monotone? Yes, Master, I exist to serve the Master. I shall kill for the Master and only for the Master. Perhaps it expected me to have a booming voice. Recite limericks. I can recite limericks, if it likes. Mostly, they involve slaughtering pigeons in creative and invasive manners. I have never met another golem. I have no idea what one might be like, or why I wouldn't be like them. Why? Has it met other golems? Did they not sound as I do? Did I say it was bad? It thinks I hang on its every word, waiting for approval. I don't know what other golems might be like, but I am already superior by virtue of my free will. This is a good thing. So is being drawn and quartered. Maybe I'm not the only one with a smart mouth, Now stop talking so much. The wagging of its moist little tongue is distracting.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Concentrate, like we practiced. Now, fire!
Time for more darkspawn, I see.
I'm taking these apprentices to Redcliffe. The first enchanter says you need every able-bodied mage for the war. They're young, but capable enough, as you saw.
I once did a stint in a brothel, serving tea.
That scamp Kylon sent you, right? Glad he hasn't forgotten about us. The mercenaries are right there. If you'll hear about other things,
you are
just
speaking
speak
to.
up.
I will give you a chance to leave quietly.
It's brave enough. Someone needs to put you in your place.
Yes?
Yes.
He's too good!
Be off with you now, and be glad I only took from you your gold. Ah, the Grey Warden. And I had heard that all the Ferelden wardens were killed or exiled from this place. Oh, don't look so surprised. I've seen many of your kind in my journeys, and there is always something odd about you. But, Grey Warden or no, it is refreshing to see another woman who answers to no one. Now, what can I do for you, my dear? I assume you saw that little drama, and none of these poor brutes has ever proven a match for me. They are too clumsy and predictable. I fight with quickness and wit, rather than with brute force and strength. I call myself a duelist because I honed my skills in duels with warriors I encountered over the years. As I said, it is better to avoid being hit, and it is best not to get into fights at all. An unusual request, coming from a fearsome slayer of Darkspawn. I am flattered that you wish to learn from me, sweet thing. But I have watched you, and you seem to lack a particular grace that is required. You are accustomed to doing battle a certain way, yes? I can teach you some basics. Perhaps you can pass it on to someone who might be interested in what I have to offer. I do, however, wish to get to know my potential student better. So we shall call for a drink, and you will honor me with a game. Have you ever played Wicked Grace? It is easy to learn, but difficult to master. You must watch your opponent's moves as carefully as your own. Before we start, the cards must be shuffled. Shall I, or would you like to? Very well. There. That should be sufficient. 5 cards each to start with, and may the cleverest player win. It looks like the deck is being kind to me today. And this card I shall play face down, I think. Ha! The Angel of Death card. The game is over. We must show our hands. I don't think I've ever seen quite so odd a hand. None of your cards match. Serpents of Deceit and Avarice, songs of temerity and mercy. Not a great hand, but I still win. Still undefeated after all these years. Will I never meet my match? Not so fast, sweet thing. I'm not sure I know you yet. Come. Another game? Ah, you're a good sport. Another game, then. Before we start, the cards must be shuffled. Shall I, or would you like to? Good. Go ahead, then. Are you done yet? 5 cards each to start with. And may the cleverest player win. Ah, a wonderful card for me. We seem to have run out of ale. I shall send my boy to fetch some. Ha! The Angel of Death card. The game is over. We must show our hands. 2 serpents, a song. Not bad. But the rest of your hand is rather pitiable. I have 3 angels, Fortitude, Truth, and Charity, and the Night of Dawn. I win. Still undefeated after all these years. Will I never meet my match? enough. I will be here should you wish to play again. Welcome back, Grey Warden. And what can Isabella do for you today? Welcome back, Grey Warden. And what can... Before we start, the cards must be shuffled. Shall I, or would you like to? Good. Go ahead, then. Are you done yet? Ah, a wonderful card for... Ah, you have that familiar glint in your eye. Good card. Ha! I don't think I've ever seen quite so odd a hand. Serpents of deceit and avarice. Still undefeated after all these years. Will I never meet my match?
Just a moment. Come here, please. This... Isabella is cheating. Do you realize it? I think she has an ulterior motive. She wants to know if you're smart enough to be a duelist, and this is her way of finding out. I think we can outsmart her, together. I can help you.
Well, will you play again? Stop whispering over there. Ah, you're a good sport. Another game, then. Before we start, the cards must be shuffled. Shall I, or would you like to? Good. Go ahead, then. Are you done yet? 5 cards each to start with, and may the cleverest player win. Ah, the Knight of Dawn. Just what I wanted. I shall draw another card, and you may draw another too. If you wish. Ha! The Angel of Death card. The game is over. And I have Songs of Twilight and Autumn, Serpents of Decay and Sadness. The Knights of Compassion and Mercy. They are only just better than mine, but better, nonetheless. Congratulations. You have proven yourself quick and resourceful, and I would be honored to pass my skills on to you. Come, we will need some space for this. I don't think there's anything else I can teach you. Perhaps tell those you meet where you learned what you know.
Turn around and walk, stranger. This affair is for White Falcons only. Get a load of this guard. You're telling us what to do? Major, protect me! Mercy! Mercy! We'll leave. We'll do whatever you want. Just no more!
Tell Carlon I owe him one.
Yes. What? Is it customary where you're from to give complete strangers questioning? Well then, what do you want from me? They call me Cassavir. I'm first mate on Captain Isabella's ship. More than this, you do not need to know. Do you lack the ears and eye? Some of them never learn. If Isabella consents to play a game with you, it's an honor. You do not ask for compensation if you lose. Isabella commands the crew on the Siren's call. She is a remarkable woman, and as you saw, quite formidable. She calls herself a duelist. But you cannot pay me enough to duel her. I'm not so stupid as those two. Did you not see? They wanted money back. Some of them never learn. If Isabella consents to play a game with you, it's an... Isabella? She calls herself a duelist. But you cannot pay. You should ask Isabella. I do not know how to...
Make a chance. I could have handled it.
Allow me.
Thanks.
I could do that for you.
Think I
What's
need
next?
to go hide somewhere.
No, I don't think so. I'll do it.
Another Grey Warden supporter.
Not just a supporter, Payton. That's a Grey Warden. She's the one Arl Howe is looking for.
Our trap landed a Warden? You've got one chance to surrender.
No one can stop them.
Allow me. I could do that for you. I finished. Sorry. What now? No, I don't think so.
Welcome to the Pearl. I'm Sanga. You'll have to go one at a time, I'm afraid. Our rooms aren't quite big enough to share, but we can discuss that in a moment. So what would you like me to show you? The men or the women? Or some of both? Wait here. Now, before you choose one, let me remind you of the guild rules. You see these lovely gentlemen by the door? If you don't play nicely with my people, these boys will have words with you. You'll pay up front, 40 silver. I'm getting tired of throwing soldiers off the pier for forgetting their coin. We're a craft hall, not a public charity. So, shall I let you get acquainted? Make it 30 and we have a deal. Go ahead and choose then.
Right this way. No, honey. The collar isn't for me.
And so I shall. Just like you wanted.
I don't think there's anything else I can teach you. Perhaps tell those you meet where you learned what...
Get your horses off Ben Talman's land. We won't bend needle again.
Loghain is the regent. He demands your...
We're not Orlesian lickspittles. We owe no man our allegiance. Leave!
Take their lands by force, men. Regent's orders.
An enemy lies ahead. Die!
Of course.
We showed those low-gain upstarts.
Darkspawn. They just crop up everywhere, don't they?
Lovely. Of course. So I said. Of course. Wait out! On me.
Oh, thank you, Maker. Oh, thank you, Maker. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes. Of course. Never what? Had a good pair of shoes? Oh, so that's what we're talking about. Well, I admit I've never had a woman just come out and ask me like this, that's for sure. I, myself, never had the pleasure. Not that I haven't thought about it, of course. But, you know. Well, living in the Chantry is not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They taught me to be a gentleman, especially in the presence of beautiful women such as yourself. That's not so bad, is it? Of course you are, and you know it. You're ravishing, resourceful, and all those other things you probably hurt me for not saying. That's what I'm here for. It's a tough job, but somebody has to do it. Let us be off then, lest your risque talk make my ears blush.
All men are the work of our nature's hand. From the lowest slave
And after much sweat, blood and toil, her labors ended, and the world marveled at what she wrought.
Those who bring harm. The Maker does not bread.
Yes? Of course. Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring. That's just in public. In private, we have these yellow and purple tunics, right? Much more comfortable, and you don't break the beds when you jump on them during a pillow fight. On confession day, we could go all night. Being a Templar isn't all about chasing men in skirts and hiding behind priests, you know. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring. I suppose there's no harm in it then. Sorry if I was being perverse. I'm just not used to anyone asking me these things. The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al-Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it. The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home? Really? I guess I like the sound of that. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good, either way. I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will...
I wish Father found me a better job than this.
Good to see you again. Good to see you again.
All men are the work of our native hand. From the to the highest, those who bring down without
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar. You
Can't
won't
do
find
that.
better.
No, I don't think so.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar.
Let's have at it!
What comes, my friend? At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees. For a time, but one can only remain a child for so long. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments, the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been. They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
You will have the best equipped army Ferelden has ever seen.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Magic exists to serve man and never.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
Against his children. They shall be named Maleficent.
A little something extra. For friendship.
By order of the new Earl of Denerim, no one is to enter the alienage. There's been an elven uprising. Knifeears even have the gall to attack the Earl's only son. Killed him in cold blood. With the whole Urian family dead, the regent appointed Rendon Howe of Amaranthine the new Earl of Denerim. First thing he did was lead a purge of the alienage. It's a mess in there. When things are put back in order, the gates will be reopened. Now on your way.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Fresh from Orzammar.
What is it? I have work to do. What does it say? Ah, I knew this would happen. Just when I was starting to get good. Well, thanks, I guess. A little something extra.
There is but one God.
Welcome back. Is there something else you'd like to look at? Dwarven craft. Crafts. Fine dwarven crafts. Direct from Orzammar. Won't find better.
What's next? I saw what you were doing back there.
Oh?
Don't play innocent with me.
What are you talking about?
You playing with that kitten.
There was no kitten.
Stan, I saw you. You were dangling a piece of twine for it.
I was helping it train.
You're a big softy.
We will never speak of this again.
Softy.